What is happening on a Tuesday morning here on the roast? Good morning to everybody out there getting off their graveyard shift. Good morning to everybody out there getting ready for work. If you're at work, what is happening? If you're getting ready for vacations, what's going on? Well, strippers, man, they probably need a vacation, man. Things are dry out there on the streets, but it's okay. It's okay. We all go through rough patches. Good morning to my man Ron out there, big truck driver. Dodgers, come on. Mookie Betts stunk. Preview their second half. Good morning, Spadoni, Lutman, Shasky, the YouTube chat, Twitch chat, Comcast Business Text Line. We got the All-Star Week blowout. That's right, 95-7 game All-Star blowout.
What's that mean?
That means that we are giving away some great gifts. And yesterday we gave out 4 gifts. Gave out 2 passes or 2 packs of Round of Golf at the Berkeley Country Club with us, the host. We gave out a Steph Curry bobblehead alongside some Jerry Seinfeld tickets and a Gold-Blooded Warriors t-shirt. Plenty of great prizes available, though. Klay Thompson autographed jersey. More tickets to Jerry Seinfeld. More tickets to the Berkeley Country Club to play around and golf with some of the hosts. A pair of tickets to a Warriors game this season. We got private lessons for jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, or boxing at the Evolve Training Center. We got $250 gift cards at Alexander Steakhouse or Buon Vino on Walnut Creek. Shout out to Buon Vino. Everybody up there where we had the Warrior Summit. We'll have a Niner Summit at some point. Maybe we'll go back to Buon Vino. But we got that coming up. And the way you win these prizes, you have to know the show at 9:20. 9:20, we'll give up the phone number. You have to know the show. And we'll throw a question about something that happened today on the show. And if you get it right, you get one of these prizes. And we have some envelopes. Shasky, open it up. We got 15, we got 14, we got 13. You pick a number, and some numbers are already gone. So we'll do that coming up in 9:20. But Zach Gelb's going to join us in a second here. I think we got him on the line, and this is why we have Zach Gelb from CBS Sports Radio. I've been on the show a lot. Shasky, I think you've been on the show. It's a good dude. But he made the airwaves. I mean, he made national headlines because of this.
I saw what you said about the Eagles back at the Super Bowl at Sirius, where if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt, you guys would have won that game by double digits. Why would that have been the case?
I don't know. That's old.
So do you not still believe that?
I mean, I do, but I mean, we're not. That's like we're not gonna keep talking about it. I mean, I said what I said.
Gotcha. So then what happens this year when you play Philly on December 3rd?
I don't know. Just wait till week 13, 12, whatever week it is, and we'll show you.
Well, then you know how that's going to go down. You're going into Philadelphia. Those fans are going to be booing you loud. You have a message for Eagles fans?
Hey, guys.
Yeah?
All right, we're good to go.
What do you mean? We have Deebo on right now.
Yeah, I know, but we're going to head into camp right now.
Are you serious? Okay. Thank you. There you
Thanks,
go.
Bye.
Deebo Samuel right there.
Bye.
The thanks, bye, was unbelievable. Let's bring in Zach Gelb. Good morning to Zach, CBS Sports Radio, Temple Bay. Of course, he's been at 94 WIP, now doing CBS Sports Radio nationally. I believe he's in New York City doing the show. Zach, good morning. Welcome to my show, finally. Bonte Hill, Joe Shasky, the Butcher. And
yes, it's your show.
Our show. I should basically say it's my show. They call me the King of the Bay out here, Zach, so basically it is my show.
Oh, my God.
No, kidding. Zach, so before we get into what happened with Debo Samuel hanging up on you, give us a background here of how the interview started. How'd you book the interview? Was there some preset questions? Because it sounded like it only lasted 6 minutes.
Yeah, so a PR person that I do work with reached out to me and said they had Debo Samuel available. I've talked to Debo one other time before at a Super Bowl, so they asked me if we could put him on, and they said we had 15 minutes with him, and he was promoting some charitable camp with a bunch of different other wide receivers, and clearly they knew that football questions were going to be asked. So I started him off asking him actually in a fun way about that viral treadmill video. We shared a laugh after that, and then he did say when in regard to his season last year, he was awful, and that's not going to happen again. But then after that, when I asked about Brock Purdy, he didn't really give me much, gave me a little on Trey Lance, and I thought it was important to ask the Eagles stuff because that was something that was bizarre to me back at the Super Bowl. I understand having confidence in your team and thinking obviously you should win a game, but to blow out the Eagles when he said that with Adam Shine on Sirius XM if they had a healthy quarterback, that's just what I didn't understand. So I wanted to ask a little clarity on that.
So how long did the interview go? Because having that backstory obviously changes the viewpoint of this. So it sounds like you had him on for, 8-9 minutes?
No, 5 minutes. His answers were very short. He didn't really want to answer anything.
Yeah, he's typically very short when you talk to him. And the last time you spoke with him prior, was it face-to-face or was it over the phone?
It was face-to-face. This was at the Super Bowl 2 years ago in L.A.
Interesting.
So he was a lot more outgoing then, or was his answer still short there at the Super Bowl in L.A.?
You know what? I happen to be a big fan of Debo Samuel. That's the irony of this. And I was really excited the last time to be able to talk to him because he was having that big breakout season, and it was unbelievable. And I like the way that he goes out to the field with Trent Williams, the boombox, playing all the music. And, I walked away from that interview, and I was a little bit unimpressed, if we're being fair. It wasn't a horrible interview, but it seems as if, there's some guys that just do the interviews to take the money, which I don't fault them. I'd probably do the same, and they don't really want to answer that many questions. So I've had a lot better conversations with other people. Let's just say that.
So let me ask you this one. Where do you think the interview switched? Was it the part about his particular comments about the 10-point loss, or do you think it was you bringing up the Philly fans?
I think it switched when I started bringing up Brock Purdy.
Interesting.
Because I said something along the lines of, we haven't really seen a lot of Brock Purdy, like 6 or 7 or 8 games. And he's like, oh, you've seen him for 12. And then I said, well, it's still a short sample size.
Yes.
Where's the confidence level heading into this season? And actually, someone that has worked with Deebo before reached out to me afterwards when they heard about this, before even listening to the interview. And they said, I heard Deebo got mad at you over asking about the quarterback. So I don't even know if it was necessarily the Eagles thing. Maybe that was the end point that made him hand over the phone, but I think it started to turn when we were discussing the quarterback.
That's very intriguing. Zach Gelb here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. National CBS Sports Radio does a great job at nights on CBS and had Debo Samuel on yesterday in the interview when basically got cut short here. So he got upset about Brock Purdy. So what was his answer when you asked him about Trey Lance?
So I asked about Trey Lance, and he said he was impressed with how much has been thrown on his plate, and he did say that Trey Lance has taken a significant step. Now, I followed up to that saying something along the lines of, you've been very positive about Brock, and then you've been very positive about Trey Lance. I still don't know what Trey Lance is, but you kind of get the feeling that Trey Lance needs to go somewhere else in order to be a starter with the confidence of Brock. And I understand that could put a player in a tough spot, but I think it's totally a fair question. And to Debo's credit, he said, that's a decision that's up to John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. So that's why I kind of transitioned it. All right, well, then something you can control and can speak of were the comments about the Philadelphia Eagles.
Interesting. Is there anything you wish that maybe because I got to comment on the Philly fans for a second, but is there anything that you wish that you'd done differently?
No. There's sometimes you have to ask difficult questions that players don't want to answer, and clearly this was one of them. But if you would have told me before the interview where, I don't write out questions, but I have an idea of some things I'm going to ask, if you would have told me beforehand that he would have hung up the phone and the interview would have only gone 5 minutes, maybe I would have believed the interview would have only gone 5 minutes because, like you said, he doesn't give a lot of detailed answers. But the fact that he hung up the phone, no, that's not something that you go into expecting to happen. Not the first time it's happened. I'm sure it won't be the last.
Oh, that's not the first time it's happened to you? You had somebody else hang up the phone on you?
Yeah, the NFC West have been making the rounds. Last year, we had Aaron Donald on right after the helmet swinging incident. And to be fair, Aaron Donald was answering the questions. It was a PR person that stepped in. This one, just for my interpretation of it, I could see Aaron Donald, then it was over Zoom. Here I'm just listening to a conversation over the phone. It does seem like Deebo starts screaming, Ashley, Ashley, and I guess that was the other PR person that was involved here, and then you hear him kind of hand off the phone. So a little bit different there.
That's unbelievable. Zach Gelb here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 Game, CBS National Sports Radio does a great job out there at the East Coast. So the Philly thing, because we went out there to the NFC Championship game, we didn't have a great time. We did not. Not only did the Niners get blown out, but the fan base was a bit abrasive.
They were lowbrow.
Yeah,
I'm being real with you, man. If any other fan, I've been to a lot of different stadiums. If any other fan base acted the way Philly fans act, we call them thugs and borderline criminals. The way they were throwing things, spitting, physical altercation, it was unbelievable. Like, honestly, it was unbecoming. So when I hear the media perpetuate, that Philly fans are different, it triggers me because I know if Niner fans did any of the things that Philly fans did because of how we look as a fan base, I know for a fact the headlines would look a lot different.
Well, let me ask you this: what actually happened? People threw things at you, and you actually got spat on.
Well, say it again.
What you guys said that people were throwing things at you?
Oh my
you got
God!
spit on?
Pushing, throwing hot dogs, spit on, beers, full cans of beers being thrown at Niner fans the entire time. You couldn't even get out of your seats without the entire row pushing you as you're going up out of the stadium. It was out of control. Full beers dumped on, spit right in the face. Yeah, we got it all on video too.
No, well, I would like to see the videos. I'm just curious.
5 million views on Facebook, just our 95.7 The Game videos alone. And we were on Facebook Live, Instagram Live. I mean, it's all there for anyone to see.
And no one was antagonizing the Eagles fans at all?
We were walking through.
Okay. So I went to school in Philadelphia for 4 years. And then I lived there for 3 to 4 years after that doing local radio. Philadelphia fans, the passion is second to none. I do think there's bad apples in a lot of fan bases, but as you guys know, with San Francisco 49ers fans as well, that's been documented too. You know, there's some idiots in fan bases. There's also some great fans as well. So I didn't see the video, so it's tough for me to really speak on it, but I know what the perception is about Philly fans. I can only speak from my experience living in there. And remember, I'm a Patriot fan. I did local radio after the Patriots lost in the Super Bowl, so I've seen it from both sides, but only my experiences with Philadelphia fans have been positive.
Well, what's your perception of Deebo now after the interview?
Big year for Debo Samuel. You know, you have a back and forth. You have a back and forth conversation like that. Yeah. It's not like I wake up today and I go, "Oh, I hate Debo Samuel." You know, right. I had a job to do.
Right.
He had a job to do as well. Right. And you know, he didn't really even get the plug in. It was more so I read the plug for him. But
what was the plug for?
Yeah,
real quick, what was the plug for, Zach?
Well, I want to know.
It was for Panini trading cards, so they could thank me for the extra publicity. But, you know, everyone has a job to do, so it's not like, you know, when one of these interviews happens where I go, "Oh, I can't stand Deebo Samuel." As I said earlier, he's an electrifying player. When I look at the 49ers, they have a heck of a team. We all know that. But the thing missing is the quarterback.
No doubt.
Maybe Brock Purdy is the guy. But until we figure out stability at the quarterback position with the Niners, they'll keep on coming up short.
No doubt. And Zach, I'll say this because I was telling our listeners here before you came on, and I've been on your show a ton, and I think you're a professional. And I kind of know where the interview went left. Just kind of knowing who Deebo Samuel is and knowing how you interview. And you probably was just like, you know what? I got to get something out of him. Maybe this will spark him. Maybe this will spark him.
Well, he did say those things. That's the thing.
He said them.
And I'm going to be real with you.
We thought he looked weak. We thought he looked weak after the NFC Championship game. Because it was not only him, Zach. It was Robbie Gold talking. Everybody's just chirping. It's like, dude, we got our asses kicked. Just leave it alone.
We were there, yes.
Well, this is the thing. People are like, "Oh, why?" Like Niners fans are saying to me today. You know, some of them. You know, I can't speak for the whole family. Why are you bringing up things from January? Well, Debo's the one that, for the most part, at almost every turn, he keeps on talking about this. So if he would have just said what he said in January and that was it, it's probably not even on my mind. But with how many times I've seen it popped up throughout the offseason, that's why I brought it up. And I'll say this to Niners fans saying that to me, who are also probably Warriors fans. If you guys, let's say, had Bob Myers on tomorrow, I know he's no longer running the team. You're not going to ask him about the end of Draymond Green and Jordan Poole and what actually happened. Yeah. It's not like we got a lot of clarity there. So just because something happened a while ago doesn't mean that it's not still in people's minds and you can ask about it.
That's a great point. We were just discussing that because some people get mad about Jordan Poole still being asked a question. It's like, well, we haven't heard it from Jordan Poole's side yet, and we still want to know, even though he may not ever answer that question about Draymond Green. So how are Philly fans feeling before we let you go, Zach? How are Philly fans feeling for you? Are they salivating at facing the Niners in Week 13 again?
Well, that's why at the end, when I kind of realized he was hanging up the phone, I said, "What's your message to Eagles fans?" Because that's going to be some scene. You know, if you're a player, I don't think you let fans booing you get in your head. But that's going to be some scene on that Sunday. I believe it's a Sunday 4:25 game in Week 13 when Deebo comes to town because, you know, the Philly fans, they're sometimes often misportrayed and misconfused. A lot of their booing that they do is just holding players accountable. But since this is an opposing player, since he didn't just take the L on the chin, and I think if Deebo just would have said, "Hey, if we had a healthy Brock Purdy, I think we would have won the game, but it would have been close." But since he went to the line of, "Oh, we would have won by double digits, the game wouldn't even be close," and I think he called James Bradbury trash, that's when it's okay. You could understand that someone is going to be confident in their team, but to not have any respect to the Eagles and say you're going to blow them out when the Eagles had a wonderful season last year, that's where I think it crossed the line for Eagles fans.
All right, Zach.
I think that's very fair.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Zach, you're a good sport. Thanks for coming on. I know a lot of Niner fans can't stand you right now, but Zach, you might be good.
Hey, Ashley, hang up on these clowns. I don't want to talk to these guys anymore.
Thanks. Bye.
Catch you guys later. Be well.